I think I have one final question.
All right.
Do you guys have a win, like when you guys win a game, do you guys have a song that you play immediately when you get?
Oh, it's
All right. Hello, everybody. Today we have Real Talk with,
Douglas Primo?
and I'm Bradley Herrington.
and my name is Julius Kordakowski. And we have a special day today. It is the, what do you call it? Is it solar or lunar?
It's a solar eclipse.
Solar eclipse. Okay.
Solar. Solar is sun, lunar is moon.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see anything. We can't
Nada.
see anything.
Nada.
We
I'm looking at Bradley. I can't see jack.
we
Same here.
we all stared directly to the sun.
Well, yeah, because we had the cloud cover. It was messing up the, what do you call it? It was messing up
The
view.
visibility.
Views, yeah.
So you had to kind of like peer in, peer out,
Yeah.
peer in, peer out, peer in. All right, boys, we can disarm.
All right.
Yeah. Get rid of them so we can see.
Nah, but I thought the eclipse was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, they don't happen all the time. Last one was like 2017 or something like that.
Yeah, someone was telling me
Yeah.
like 4-year periods,
Mhm.
like 4-year increments.
I don't think so. So today was like a total solar eclipse.
Yeah.
And I don't think the next one's gonna be until like 76. I heard years, like
100 years.
76 years in the
I've heard-
future,
I've
something
heard
like
both,
that.
Like
yeah.
a very long time.
Like
Yeah.
there's partial. I think
Yeah,
there are partial
yeah.
eclipses all the
Mhm.
time, but I think again total.
I don't think like all the time is stretching it. They're not like every few months. They're years apart.
Yeah.
But
And that's the other
like
thing
it
you
is
gotta
today was a very special event. I think.
Mhm.
So yeah.
remember. And like it was kind of cool. You had the clouds. What do you call it? The clouds blocking our view a little bit here in
Yeah.
Alfred. But Doug, you said you saw some good stuff in Rochester.
It got completely dark in Rochester.
Yeah.
I didn't see the actual like eclipse, like the sun going over the moon.
Mhm.
It was also cloudy in Rochester as well,
Nice.
which kind of sucked, but I mean, it got dark really quickly.
Yeah.
Like I was taking like a Snapchat video and it was like 51 seconds from, like probably like dusk light or like probably like I'd say like 6 a.m. light to like midnight.
Really.
It got that dark,
That
yeah.
fast. No.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. It was a cool event, but like
Yeah.
when viewing the actual, like we got a couple good moments where you could see it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It was just a red fingernail through the glass.
Mhm.
I was like,
Yeah, I was underwhelmed with what the glasses did,
Well,
but it's just for protection.
Yeah.
You
true,
know.
and but like, and don't
you
get
know.
me wrong. I know like we're in college, they wanted to hype up the event, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where I was a bit of a victim of that, but I was still a little. I
Mhm.
was like, oh, I thought it would have been like way more bright.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. I was up in the heaven lot with a few buddies of mine, and
So-
it was very bright. It got dark, not nighttime dark,
Yeah.
but and then it was only a few minutes long, but overall, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good
It
day.
was a great experience.
So
Yeah.
I'll kind of transition to this. So
Yeah.
Brad, give us your spiel. Give us who you are.
All
What
right.
you do.
um,
You know what major organization you're a part of.
all right. So my name is Bradley Herrington. I'm a junior here. I'm in the nursing program.
Ooh,
I'm the
sweet.
vice president of the ice hockey team.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's hockey. What are you pointing at me for, Julius?
I believe. Come on. I believe.
All right. So coming with the vice president role, what do you do for the hockey team?
All right. So this past year, I was actually the treasurer.
Okay.
And we just had our elections a few weeks ago, and I'm stepping into the vice president role. The biggest part of being the vice president is scheduling like the vans and getting transportation to and from practices and games.
Hmm.
That's one of the biggest obstacles we face as a club is we play in Olean.
Okay.
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
that close. I don't know if you
Mhm.
know where Olean is, but it's about 55 minutes south of here.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a hike,
Mhm.
but all of our officers kind of just come together and just make sure all of our finances, all of our games, our refs, our EMTs, everything's scheduled and
Mhm.
just ready to go for the season.
Kind of
That's
stinks
nice.
that you guys don't have like at least a bus, like
Yeah.
because we run a bus to Wellsville.
Mhm.
Like I
Mhm.
don't think there's a big reason not to have a bus run you guys back
Yeah.
and forth.
So I know the vans
Yeah.
are changing for next year, and like this past year, we just had to like sign them out. We paid for gas, and just like one of us who was on the insurance had to go drive. But this next year, they're changing it to like through the New York State, and you have to be a New York State driver. Like kids in college can sign up and like get jobs, be drivers.
Mm.
And a few people on the team might look into that to just solely drive for the hockey team because it's a big time commitment just traveling for everything that we do.
Yeah. As someone who's played hockey for the majority of his life, I'm no stranger to driving 45
Mhm.
minutes to practice.
And it comes with it, yeah.
Yeah, it really does come with the sport. I mean, I had no clue that you guys took vans there. I was
Yeah.
like, the big part of why I didn't join the hockey team this year was
Mhm.
I didn't have my own car to like go out.
Yeah.
So I had no clue that those vans
Mhm.
were there, and I had that opportunity. But
Majority of the times we have vans. Sometimes we carpool. Like, I drove to Mercyhurst. That was not a fun drive, but we kind of just figure it out and carpool and make sure everyone's getting to the rink and getting back safely. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, what's your favorite part about being in the rink?
yeah,
About
I
practice?
don't know. There's just something about hockey. Like I played baseball and football through high school, and there's no comparable feeling of just walking to an ice rink. It's just a different environment.
Yeah.
Practice and game days. Game days, an electric hockey rink is just something special, and it is just an amazing environment, and that's something that our club, our team, that we try to do. We try and take that energy from our game days. We put that into practice. We put that into our lifts, and we carry that through the weekend. And sometimes we have very long road trips. We were in Penn State Barron on a Saturday night or a Friday, and then Saturday morning we were in Buffalo playing Erie Community College. And you need a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, to get through long week, because that's a tough drive, back to back, and it's very physical games. You're getting beaten up, and all the guys.
Positive.
Exactly, all the guys have to like band together, and just like bear down and sometimes like get through a weekend, But like keeping that mentality of we're gonna come out blazing, we're gonna like tear it up, but also, the not so fun parts about playing hockey here is the travel.
yeah,
And just everyone comes together and we figure it out. So
You gotta make it a good vibe.
exactly, yeah. And that's one of the best parts about our club. It's always good vibes.
Because hockey is very physical. When you're moving that fast down the, what do you call it? You're moving faster than people are running, obviously, because you're on ice.
Yeah.
You're on
Yeah.
skates. Literally, you're actually gliding. Right? What do you call it? The cool part about the blade, right? If you actually look at some of the science, the blade at the edge when it's moving,
I know
makes
I know what you're gonna say. It melts. It melts the ice. Yeah.
Can you explain it better?
Yeah. So the hockey blade is, I don't know, like a quarter of an inch thick, but you're not skating on like the flat. It's a convex shape, so you're actually skating on a blade like it's smaller than a credit card. But there's so much pressure with like your body weight and your speed that it doesn't cut through the ice. It melts the ice, and as you are if you were just skating here, you're gone out, then it'll refreeze. So that was like a Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's a famous astronomer. Well, not astronomer. Yeah.
Astronomy, right? He just had a, what do you call it?
He was doing like
event,
a Joe Rogan.
I think that's probably where I saw it.
That's where I saw it
Neil
too. Yeah.
deGrasse Tyson.
But it's unreal.
Yeah,
like
it
there's
really
so
is.
much. Hockey's just an unreal sport. Like you're skating on such a small surface.
I mean, and the cool part is you just saw, what do you call it? For the first time in a long time, this big hockey fight, 5-on-5.
That was
for a couple
hockey. There's
bad
no
checks.
sport like hockey. There's
There
no
really
sport
isn't.
like hockey. It's fast paced, and there's not like football, very physical, but it's a slower game. Like you have snaps, time in between. Hockey, there's no breaks.
There's no stop.
But rarely there are
No,
stoppages.
there's line change-ups.
No,
yeah,
I don't know.
Those are on the fly too.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that's just easy to us, but it's not common.
No, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I would remember I've asked you about this before. I'm like, how do you make sure your lineups are like, what do you call it, done efficiently? And it's like this routine.
It's all communication. Everything practice. Like we have different color jerseys in practice for our offensive lines. All our defensemen wear black jerseys.
Yeah.
We've got different colors for our lines, but you know the guys you're going with, and when you're about to get on, you know who's on the ice, and it's like you're picking out your man. When he's getting off the ice, you got to get on, and it's just moving super fast, and it just has to correlate perfectly. But I mean, after years and years of playing, it's just kind of like second nature.
Well, and I can say this as a watcher, right? I've gone to a Sabres game.
I saw you won my games this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
were there.
I came out to support a couple.
Oh yeah, you
I
did.
went to one or two. What do you call it? It was awesome. But I love the environment because it's a little colder for the ice, but it is not frigid. Like at a football game, you get hit with the wind, the snow.
We're inside. Yeah.
I like that.
There's no weather.
Yeah, I like that it's inside and it is it's enclosed enough, but you still feel how ginormous. Again, the Sabres are a pro team, but still,
Of course.
Yeah.
You still I like that it's enclosed actually.
Hockey rinks are just amazing.
Yeah.
And even the rink we play in Olean, it's smaller. Sorry to cut you off there,
No, it's
but
okay.
it's not even close to any of the professional teams.
Not
but
even.
it's still you walk in and you're just in this auditorium of it's a hockey game.
Dude, I like the temp. I like that it's not, again, you don't have wind chill. You just have to put on a sweatshirt. I like things a little colder. That's just me.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, even some of the rinks are hotter. I know there's some rinks back where I'm from where it's you get on the ice and you're already sweating.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, it's crazy because it's, they keep it so cold in there, but yet somehow it still gets hot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for you guys, right?
We're moving, we're sweating.
Moving fast. You still have just as much pads as football, or a little more, because like you got to put on the what do you call it, leg guards.
We've got everything. Yeah.
Top like.
Especially for goalies, they just put on.
They are covered.
They are covered. Yeah, and
yet because you got a puck flying at your face,
and yet you guys still somehow find a way to hit the spots where we don't have any pads.
We got a rubber disc, like 3 inches wide, moving at between 60 and 80 miles an hour.
Yeah,
just everywhere. Just I'm not a goalie. I couldn't imagine being a goalie. It's
pretty fun.
Yeah, you were a goalie?
I am a goalie.
Okay. Yeah, it's.
But I feel like of all the sports with a goalie, hockey is the best because it's like soccer. The goal increases and so does the ball. But like I don't know if the ratio of goal to human.
That's not a question that I could answer. But yeah.
Honestly, I think goalies just have to give respect to other goalies because I've been a soccer goalie and that shit is difficult.
No, that's harder because it's a bigger goal.
Yeah, it's a bigger goal.
Even though the ball's bigger, like it's still.
With hockey, you have to worry about angles and stuff like that. You have to worry about how much room you're giving. With soccer, it's different angles and it's coming at the ball. The puck isn't going to go over you and into the net. That very rarely happens. Where in soccer that happens quite often. Yeah. So it's a different game. So you can't really compare. It's like comparing apples and oranges, basically. Yeah. It's hard to compare.
Well, I mean, the only thing, like field hockey is similar. Lacrosse is a little similar to hockey, so it's like way different rules, but still, you can go behind the goal in lacrosse. You can do that in hockey, but you really got to fight for boards, man. Like, it's brutal.
Oh yeah.
So what do you call it? Do you have any fun stories from hockey that you care to share with us?
Well,
there's plenty.
But I don't know if stories is the right word. It's just always a good time. Like we're a very close-knit group of guys, and like every Sunday we have a house on Main Street. We're watching football, like up to the Super Bowl every Sunday religiously, 1:00. So I don't know. It's just we're always spend time together. We have events and games between practices, lifts, and all that stuff. 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. We're constantly spending time with each other, and it's just a great time. I don't know how to exactly explain that, but like we're bonding over actually playing, being on a team together. We're also just a group of guys. So, yeah.
Okay. Got any other questions about hockey, Doug?
No, not really. No, I think I'm all hockeyed.
All right. So what do you call it? I remember you talking to us about your major too.
Yeah.
So what's nursing like?
Nursing's hard. Nothing short of hard. A lot of majors here, like all the engineering, the architecture, is just a huge workload. And nursing, I think, is just so different from any other major. I'm not comparing major or anything like that, but you have to have, the patient care aspect. You have to, be a people person. You have to improve on all, like, your social skills, all that stuff. But also, you have to, we're preparing to save lives, and that it is very rigorous.
There's an efficiency aspect
that
you really have to have with your knowledge.
There's a in-classroom, portion of it. You have to know so much. But also, you have to go perform at clinicals and, put it all together. You can't be strong at just clinical and not lecture, or vice versa. Put it all together and,
I don't miss it.
I get it.
My first 2 years in college was a nursing major. I transferred to a different major. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work, man.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Like there were a lot of nights where I couldn't afford not to get sleep, so I do my homework super late.
Yeah.
And then sleep in the rest of the day because I would get my work I couldn't lose the hours on the back end.
Exactly. And I know, you're on the football team, so you and I are, to a certain extent, sharing the school sport balance, and it's tough.
And the student athlete life, man, it's a different game.
Yeah.
Like at Alfred, I feel like here we're pretty fortunate.
We're
a D3 place. Like I know that I've talked to a D1 player, what do you call it, here on college because he transferred here on the football team, but like he told me how it was much more about the sport.
Yeah.
Like, and at those campuses, like, even the professors understood that, like, they make exceptions for those guys.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even though it's like.
No, yeah. 100%.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he told me it was so hard to keep up with his classwork because he was just at practice all the time.
Because that the number one priority when you're getting a scholarship to play a sport, that's your job. You know, you're getting paid to do that, so that's your priority. But
yeah, and it's tough, man. I don't know if I like the NCAA as a I think it's a bit of a racket scheme. They've got a monopoly over college athletes. I don't know if it's okay. Like we talk about players, profiting off their likeness.
Yeah.
Like again, I don't like if you go through college, you understand how hard it can be to have money and get food.
Yeah.
Like why wouldn't athletes why wouldn't I want them to use the sports platform that they have to do better for themselves?
Profit, yeah.
So it's just tough. Like, and things are changing. Like, I know they've gotten better about some of the regulations. I think some athletes are allowed to do that now. Kind of profit off their likeness.
It's more NIL money now. You know, just getting the deals for doing commercials or repping whatever brand, that type of thing. But if you're good, you're getting money, regardless of what's going on or what sport you play.
Well, and they always talk again. It's such a big gray area because athletes know they're not supposed to accept bribes, but you've heard the stories from NFL players Eric Dickerson. The running back for the Rams talked about how he basically didn't get a car from his college, but he did.
But he did. Yeah,
he did. He got a really
And I know that culture's changing, and I think it's changing for the better. But it's
because people are doing it. If you're gonna at least standardize it for at least everyone can have the same thing. They can do the same thing that everyone else is doing.
And it's the problem is not the problem, but the topic is that the college is making so much money off of bringing in these guys, and they're not seeing any of it other than their scholarship.
Yeah.
And some could argue that scholarship is enough. You're getting a full ride or partial ride, whatever it is, to that university for. In return, you're going to play a sport for them. But with NIL and all the deals, you can make quite a bit of money, just playing sports.
And I wish, again, if I was a coach of one of the really big, D1 schools, for really football especially, Nick Saban gets paid a ridiculous amount of money for being, or at least the head coach of the Alabama Roll Tide. I think as a coach, I would make sure I'd take $1 million of that money and be like, hey, make sure my guys
are taken care
have
of.
Extra snacks in the locker room.
Yeah, yeah.
Have soda.
And I bet there's rules to that, though, and I don't know if there's it's whatever happens.
I don't know if I agree or disagree with athletes getting special treatment, but let's face it, you're a student athlete. You're not just a student.
And you're not just an athlete.
So it's a tough area to be in.
I mean, giving money back to the student athletes or giving them the proper either getting them meals so they can either cut or bulk up. Getting them stuff like that so they can be successful in that area, stuff like that I think that would be a great exchange for I'm not getting paid for this, but I get special meals because I'm an athlete.
Yeah, and I think that ushers in another problem of a regular student.
Yeah.
Is it really fair for a student athlete to get an extra benefit because they're on a sports team?
Well, I mean, if you look at that athlete is basically gaining money for the school, whereas as a regular student, you're paying, but you're paying they're paying. Well, I guess they could be paid for.
Well,
by
the athletes
school.
are showcasing, right? Is that what you're talking about? They're on a stage.
The face of every school is the athletes.
100%.
When you're thinking of whatever school, like Alabama. Football. You're not thinking of anything academic.
Yeah, they're definitely not thinking of hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with Alabama too. It's I don't think of, no offense, they probably have a hockey team.
They have a hockey team.
They have a hockey team.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, exactly. They have a hockey team.
But we're thinking football right now.
When you hear the term Alabama Roll Tide, you don't think of the hockey team. You think of football. And it's
on the
weird.
flip side, when you're thinking Boston University, Boston College, Michigan, Michigan State.
Yeah. I'm not, again, some of those schools, again, their trademark is hockey.
Exactly.
And it's kind of crazy how, again, you get the Boston, the Michigan area.
The Northeast is an amazing place for hockey. And I think at all levels, it is, the hub of hockey in the United States is the Northeast, and then, Michigan and Minnesota.
Michigan is...
It's Michigan, Minnesota, New York, and Massachusetts are the 4 states that are the big 4 in hockey.
Definitely.
Well, you look at, what do you call it, they're colder places. Let's face it, it's harder to put a rink in Florida. For the Tampa Bay Lightning than it is to put in a rink for the Sabres in
Exactly.
Buffalo.
New York hockey is great. many professional teams in New York State, you know, for the NHL and then the AHL, which is the AAA of the NHL, but also in college. For the Division I tournament this year, RIT and Colgate were both in it, all the way down to like Division III and even club, you know.
Yeah, and I wish for hockey, I feel like it's a cool sport, but I wish they could bring down the level for entrance.
Yeah.
Because if you carry hockey throughout, like, say, 6 years, and you're growing through puberty, all that stuff, you're outgrowing your pads.
Yeah.
That gear is expensive.
Oh,
Hockey's a very
A
expensive
hockey
sport.
stick is expensive.
Yeah.
So in that way, it kind of stinks. Like, I look at it, I'm like, I probably couldn't have done hockey. Football, they issued out pads for everybody. That made it a little easier. You almost have to have a similar thing for hockey. Like,
and also the ice time is very expensive. Like per hour this past year, I think we spent $180 an hour.
I believe it because it's for the facility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the cost of having the ice, maintaining the ice, you know, the Zamboni, but also all of the facilities that we use, it's worth that. You know, it's worth $200 an hour to maintain an ice rink. But you know, when we have 2.5 hours of practice a week plus between 2 and 4 hours of games, you know, it gets very expensive. It does.
That's about $1,000 just from the numbers you're just talking about.
We spend, I think, around $2,000 a month on ice time, and then we got to pay the refs, and then we got to buy jerseys and transportation, all that stuff.
Again, even just your hockey stick.
Yeah.
Your stupid stick to go, you know, hit the lid.
A little one stick to stop pucks probably run you at least $150 for a good stick.
That's
at
even
least.
more now.
Yeah.
Like $200 to $300 is.
Like even just like we've talked about this before, but groceries have gone up.
Everything
has gone up. A pair of football gloves for me as a football player, like again, a pair of Under Armour is like 60 to 80.
Really?
Yeah,
kidding.
They're not cheap. Like, I mean, you can sometimes find them on clearance to get them at like 45 maybe, but like when you go into the store, you don't want the gloves on clearance. You want
to get the ones you want.
Yeah, you want the ones that like pop out to you on the shelf.
Of course.
Sometimes it's a little bit extra money.
Yeah. Hockey, everything is so expensive. Every piece of equipment you have. Yeah. And I know you've played. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Everything is.
I have. We're gonna ignore that. My pads are like falling apart right now.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure no one else could put on my pads because you have to put them in a very specific way because they're falling apart. But that's just because, you know, hockey equipment is so expensive, and it's like, you know, I can't go out and get a new pair of pads because that will run you about $600, and I don't have that kind of money.
$600, bro.
Yeah.
What stuff?
Those are just the leg pads
for $600.
Yeah, just for
like. That's my groceries for a year, like maybe like 6 months.
I was about to say, a year? What do you...
A year's pushing it, but don't get me wrong, 6 months?
You can do a lot with that money.
You can do a lot. Yeah. You know, that's probably a new PS4 or a new TV.
Yeah, a new PS4, a couple games with that too.
Yeah, like, again, not the PS5 because that's been upsold so terribly.
Oh, no, you could probably get a PS5 for $600.
Come on, I thought they were going for like 1,000 because people were reselling them.
They've started making them more. They've started making more now, so they're less. They're probably running about 500.
Dude, and how do you guys feel? Again, like we're going to the PS5. How do you feel about a game console that doesn't take discs?
I'm an Xbox guy.
Also,
you know, so
they're trying
also
to
an Xbox.
No, I don't have a disc.
No more disc drive. You know.
Yeah, I have the Xbox S, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think I have the same one.
Yeah. No, everything's online. Like, what do you need discs for? Movies, all the streaming services, games. It's just on the Game Pass now. You know, everything that you possibly need for that disc drive is now accessible through whatever app.
True.
On the Xbox.
I carry around I have a hard drive for my games, and you can literally take a hard drive with a bunch of games on it, plug it into an Xbox, and there you go. You have all your games on a different Xbox.
That's kind of nice. But I don't know. I think about it too, though. It's like, what about people without internet? That's where the system flunks.
Okay.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there are still some families in America that don't have internet everywhere. Like, imagine you get a brand new PS5 because your family bought it for you, and you find out
you can't download games.
You can't run it. Yeah. So I mean, that'd be a bit of a heartbreaker. But don't get me wrong. Not having to deal with disc scratches.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like,
we've
all had that one.
Oh
game.
yeah.
Like, I had what do you call it? Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Oh no.
What do you call it? My cousin,
that game.
Right? This guy.
Oh no.
Bought it like 3 or 4 times because he kept He kept turning off his like Xbox like wrong. And it just killed the game.
Oh wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like back in the day, like again when the systems weren't as good, if you didn't turn it off correctly or you just unplugged it, you could fry the game.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so imagine you get you get a black circle of death on the disc.
Oh boy.
It would just be torn up. It's no good anymore.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about gaming, boys? Like again,
I have recently been getting back. Do you guys play Siege? Rainbow Six Siege?
I do. In fact,
I don't play
Siege.
Yeah, I've heard you started playing
Helldivers 2.
Okay.
Helldivers 2, baby. I'm following. What do
You're-
you call it? I saw a bunch of gamers play it online, following the trend. I actually really like it.
You're a PC gamer, aren't
Now,
you?
I guess, yeah.
Laptop.
I mean, I have a PS4.
Okay.
So, but like, I'm not gonna lie. I try and stay off the PS4, especially in college now, because like, I had a couple friends who were just playing it too much, and they almost flunked.
Yeah.
Like again, like they were playing Warzone way too much. We've all had that guy. We've all had that one friend.
Yes.
Oh, how are you so good at this game? Oh, you're not coming back next semester? Why is that? Oh, never mind.
You try to be a gamer, bro? No. But I don't know. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I'll pour a couple hours into it.
Yeah.
Just making sure it's all in like.
It's a balance.
Yes.
It's a balance.
Everything is.
Almost every Friday I get on, and when I have some free time, and I'll play a little bit of Siege just to keep up my.
Yeah.
So what has your experience been with Siege?
Well, so I was actually introduced to the game by my roommate last semester. So I was never big into gaming like throughout middle school, high school. It was more of like a college thing.
Okay.
But then it was like I started playing like Madden and NHL. But then it was Halo Infinite when that came out. That was my game. That was my game.
I think I played Halo 3.
Okay, yeah.
Still.
A great campaign. A great
campaign. Like I was surprised. I was like, it was really good.
Yeah.
Like
I think the Halo Infinite campaign. That's personally my favorite campaign out of the Halo games. I'm not saying it's the best one, but it's my favorite.
The weapons it took you through. The different bosses you actually fought. You
and the
started
mobility
out with,
aspects of the game.
The weird aliens, and then you went to the orange ones. So like, that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I found I really enjoyed it. I can see why people like the Halo verse. But I don't know. There are also people arguing against it because they don't like some of the decisions that have been made recently.
Well, I feel like some people, like I know there's a lot of games out there, but like you said, your favorite was Halo Infinite. A lot of people will probably disagree with that, but those people played like all of the Halo games as soon as they released, so they have a biased presence.
100%.
Where it's like I will say that my favorite zombies was Cold War zombies, and people would be like, no, there's way better zombies. Like, well, it's just my experience. I had a great experience on that zombies.
Like, I went back and, like, the Master Chief collection. Like, I played all the campaigns, all that stuff.
I love that character,
yeah.
Master Chief.
Like, I really liked Halo Reach. That was a good one.
Yeah,
that was
Halo
a good one.
Reach.
But still, just, with it being new, Halo Infinite, like, multiplayer, you could play ranked in that. You can do any game mode you want. And I just think, like, my opinion again, Halo Infinite is my favorite game.
But yeah, like I really got caught up in that campaign. I don't even think I played the game in multiplayer because I didn't have internet. I didn't have internet.
Yeah.
So I could only play the campaign, but I was really impressed. I was like, this is a great it what do you call it? Turned well, it functioned well, the game mechanics worked well.
I agree.
No complaints.
I agree.
I could definitely see why
there was nothing in that game that I was like, that's bad.
It used to be a trend setting. It was literally trend setting.
Yes.
Halo, like again, you talk about a couple years ago back before COD really took hold. Like again, and even now COD's died out a little bit.
A little, yeah.
But back before, Halo was the game.
Halo had
there were so many media stories about guys. Like I remember reading a Halo story about a guy. There was a kid who played the game so much that when his brother took it away from him, there was some really bad altercation.
Oh God.
Because that's all he did.
Oh boy.
He was addicted to Halo.
It's interesting addiction.
It's that balance again.
That's the balance again.
Get back to the balance, man.
But yeah.
Halo 99% of the time, 1% of life.
That's what happened, and that was the problem. It's I don't know. As a parent, I could see why, back in the day, why video games weren't as because if you remember Doom. Doom back in the day.
I know Doom.
Doom, oh boy.
Again, I play Doom. God. I like Doom.
Yeah.
But for someone who's more on the conservative side of
Fair enough. Fair
enough. I can see why they wouldn't like the gluttony, the gore of some video games, especially to 10-years-olds.
Yes.
Like that from 10 to 14. like 14 to 16, I'd argue that's okay.
Yeah.
You start to get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I remember COD used to do something nice where they instead of like blood splatters, it'd be paintballs.
Yeah. Like the taking the gore off type thing. Yeah.
Which was actually a really smart concept. Like the company saw it, they're like, okay,
having
that's
a
valid
audience.
point. They pivoted a little bit.
Yeah, make a solution.
Speaking of some game changes, have you ever played Rainbow's Magic?
I have not.
Oh my gosh, that is such an amazing game mode. Okay, so Rainbow Six Siege has a game mode where it's like, it's during April Fool's Day, so it might be out right now. I'm not sure though. Where it's like have you played Plane? The map Plane?
Oh, the map. Yeah.
So they take
while though.
yeah, they take the map Plane and they make it like it's a kid's toy. It's in a kid's room, and they made a bunch of cosmetics where it's like pink and stuff like that, and the explosions are like glitter and stuff like that. It's super fun, and your bullets make little stars in the walls and stuff like that. It's just super. It's super. I don't want to say silly, but it is silly.
Yeah.
But it's just so fun, and it's just obnoxious so much where it's just like it's so funny.
Yeah.
All right. So rounding out the show, right, towards our end, this is the one structure part.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
What is your problem that you see at Alfred State?
With hockey?
With anything
just
in general.
With anything, yeah.
Well, I'll talk about hockey because that's kind of why I'm here.
Okay.
The biggest thing that, you asked me this question a few days ago so I could think about it. And, with hockey, it is really tough to play an all-in.
Okay.
This past year we had late practices, so we practiced from 9:30 to 10:30 on Mondays, and then 10 to 11:30 on Thursdays. I'm not getting back to my room on Thursday nights until 1:30 in the morning. And that was tough.
Yeah.
But another big aspect for that is we rarely have a student body at our games. And I know, Julius, you went to a game.
But the student body was light.
Yeah, there were only, but like you had brought like half the people there. Like you and Ben were there, and it was like, that was kind of it, And it's just like the parents and friends, a few friends of the players, and that's kind of it, It's not like it's a 10-minute drive; it's almost an hour. It's a
out
trip.
of the way.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. It's out of the way,
exactly.
And that's a little problematic because I think that's again football with it being so here on the so near the campus with our stadium here. You can get a lot more of the student body out for those games, or basketball.
Mm-hmm.
The basketball games here on campus fill up, especially during the season. So
but it's also like you can get on social media, whatever platform it is. Oh, we have a basketball game tonight. That's a 2-minute walk to Orvis. Go.
Right in the dorms. It's easy.
Exactly. Like if you want to go to a hockey game, you have to plan it out. You've got to get rides and carpool and go.
You're basically road trip.
Exactly. Like if we had a rink, like hypothetically, Orvis was the hockey rink.
Perfect.
Everyone would be there. When we the bleachers would be packed for every single hockey game, even though it's a club sport. That's just everyone wants to go to hockey games.
I'm not lying. Like that'd be pretty. It's kind of dreamy, man. Because we were talking a little bit earlier about how
the swimming pool is getting shut down. They're going to AU. Why not fill it with an ice hockey rink?
Yeah, just fill it with water. It'll be okay.
Yeah, it's not exactly how that works. I know it's very expensive.
Yeah.
I wonder what you'd be able to do. Like I know you'd have to extend it out a little bit. To get it,
probably.
Because you need to get the bleachers in there too. I think that's where the problem is.
And then locker rooms and benches and penalty boxes.
I think the benches, no. I think the locker rooms you'd be okay with because they have a couple spaces.
Yeah.
You might have a longer walk in your skates. That sucks. Whatever.
Yeah, but whatever. Yeah.
But like, if you could just get the space for it closer.
That'd be amazing.
So nice. I like to. I love hockey.
Yeah. Everyone loves hockey. No one hates hockey.
Of all the sports to watch on TV. Hockey. Again, the NFL, NBA, MLB. I like it's the
hockey,
NHL
man.
For me.
Yeah.
Again, it's the NHL for me. That's the sport I like to watch because it moves so quickly.
Yeah.
Love what those guys have to do. They're gliding around on the ice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hockey is just such a fast-paced sport that it just it's. I mean, we've talked about this before. It's. Just because it's so fast-paced, it's like the action never stops.
Exactly.
I mean, of course, it stops for like penalties and stuff like that, but then it just goes right back into it. It's so engaging.
It's go.
Exactly.
All the time.
Gotta find the funding. Let's go get an investor.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll name it after you. Give us a building.
Let's build a hockey rink in Alfred.
Dude, make it a nice one, man. Like, it's always nice when you come in and you see that, like, a place has a really nice facilities.
Yeah, this
whatever
past
it may
year.
be. Basketball, whatever.
We played at a lot of Division III, like the SUNYAC, so all the SUNY schools hockey teams, but for NCAA Division III, like Buffalo State and then Geneseo. We played at their rinks, and they were beautiful.
Well, because Buff State, it's not as big as UB.
UB's bigger.
UB is made for the masses.
Oh yes.
But Buff State still has
still a good school.
Still
and it's still in a big city.
That was actually one of the schools.
We played both those schools this past year. We played everywhere. And University of Buffalo, they actually lost in the national championship game for AAU club hockey. Yeah. So
do you guys have to do you guys have to pay for your gas too, like when you're going to these events?
So we have dues. So similar to like a fraternity or any club, we have to pay dues to play hockey. But that covers like an allotment for gas, jerseys, all of our like basic expenses.
Yep.
And then as the treasurer this past year, it was my job to get a card from Tyler and cover the gas for the vans, but also some people. Like, we had a kid who drove his truck every single game just so he could bring bags.
Yeah, that's
so does the guy, like, what do you call it? Does the school chip in at all, or is it more than that?
We have a budget. So through Student Senate, we have a budget, and we can.
I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, it's not huge, but we're working on that, and we have complete freedom to do what we want with that money, and a big expense is gas. But next year, I'm hoping that's changing because I think, if I am correct, that gas will be covered by the school. That would be
imagine how much
absolutely amazing.
Imagine what you guys could spend on getting
so much.
Not just that, like, again, you could talk to new players like, hey, if you guys want to come play hockey, like, we'll chip in for like some of your equipment. We'll give you $50.
We're working on potentially getting a team helmet set.
Ooh,
just stuff like that. Just to like.
Yeah, make you guys look more uniform.
Exactly.
Because you guys are still you guys are out there like showcasing our school.
Yeah.
And I like
we are Alfred Hockey Team.
I do think that, like, again, that hypothetical, taking the swimming pool,
Ugh.
fill it in.
And in Utopia, we have a rink on campus. In Utopia. But
I would love
a lot of logistical errors, but
I'd be popping out to every game.
Every game?
I'd be going.
Yeah,
I would literally, and I'll be screaming
everyone would be going at those games.
A lot of people
Everyone
would be
go to
going.
those games.
Everybody would.
You know?
You get, again, like,
even the community, Alfred University would be at the games. The Alfred Almond High School, they'd all be at those hockey games.
And you start learning how to, what do you call it? Like, you start learning the game through going to that stuff.
Exactly.
Like, more than, like, watching stuff on TV, all this stuff. Like, you start by going.
Yeah. Like, that's how I fell in love with hockey. My uncle works for the Syracuse Crunch. And that's the AAA affiliate of the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, it was Anaheim Ducks. Now it's Tampa Bay. So I've been going to hockey games since I was like 2, 3 years old. And that's just started playing shortly after.
Solid.
Yeah.
So
I think I have one final question.
All right.
What kind of snacks do you guys bring for game day?
Like everything.
Clementines.
So a kid in our team, his mom, every single game had just this huge Tupperware container of orange slices. So that was clutch. That was after the first period ends, she brings them in the locker room, clutch.
Oh yeah.
Gummies, that's a staple to have. B-Rad always got gummies. But I don't know,
I'd probably hit up some peanut butter.
Rice Krispie treats are a big one.
I know for our games we always had chocolate milk. Gatorade.
Chocolate milk's a good one.
Gatorade. We always had granola bars, and obviously the clementines.
Yeah, chocolate milk after the game was always big.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's so important. Like, what do you call it? Blake Griffin did a whole thing about how good chocolate milk is for your body.
Chocolate milk's amazing.
I think I have one final question.
All right.
Do you guys have a win? Like, when you guys win a game, do you guys have a song that you play immediately when you get?
Oh, it's this past year we didn't have a big win song. It was just an electric feeling.
Dude, DMX. There's my suggestion for you.
All right.
DMX.
I'll talk it up with the guys and we'll figure something out for next
Rough
year.
Riders anthem. Stop,
all right.
Drop. Shut them down. Open up shop.
I don't know. Ours was Going Home with all right, it's going home.
All right.
I mean, or like, what do you call it? Na 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 na.
That's
a good one.
I'm not gonna sing, but my high school teams, ours was Loud by Mac Miller. So that's a good one.
It was.
Miller.
I don't know. There's something electric about coming into the room and having everyone like jumping and screaming that.
To celebrate the win, man.
Exactly.
Hockey was big.
I had a great memory my senior year of that. Like, we won one game. Senior night. Luckily, literally, best game of the year to win for football. But I was like, dude, went to the locker room, threw on the freaking stereo.
Yep.
And like
first thing you do.
Again, we were throwing chairs. We were going nuts because it's the only win of the year. We didn't have anything else to celebrate that year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So that's been our show. I want to say thank you to Brad for coming on, and as always, Doug out here doing his best, living his best life with the solar shades. We gotta make a short of that. So.
Well, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me on.
We appreciate you coming on.
All right.
It was good.
Yeah.